All right. Welcome to the BAM Blog Breakdown, where Brian Kaiser and Mike Calderwood, and sometimes the illustrious Aaron Zambrano, break down expert business blogs so you can better understand and apply the information to your business and life for real results. Before we get really started here, I want you to go over and do me a favor and do yourself a huge favor. Go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. This is going to do two things for you. First, it's going to allow you to review this Bam Slam Home Run blog, but also look at the other ones and enjoy all of the Bam Slam blogs that we broke down in a cool, fun, and energetic way. Secondly, it will notify you, because YouTube has thought of it all. It will notify you each time we put up new content. And this content is awesome, so you want to get it. Go to the channel and subscribe there. So I'm your humble host, Brian Kaiser. I'm here with my BAM partner, Mike Calderwood. Mike, how are you doing this morning?
2 words, buddy. I'm ready to rock and roll. Hold on, that's more than 2 words. Rock and roll, buddy. I'm ready, man. This is a great blog post. You know, I'm coming back from Vegas, and I'm headed back out of town for another.
That's why you're having trouble counting words.
Yeah.
From Vegas.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to really hammer this one home because, and I'm going to let you introduce it here, but this is a topic that you and I both, we preach this topic. So this is what was a really fun blog for me to break down, and not only was it fun, but I learned a lot from it. So let's get into it, man. Go for it.
All right. Well, all I can say is, woot, woot, Bob Burg, you rock, buddy. You rock, sir. Now, you got to go over to Bob Burg's blog. It's Burg.com. Go over there. It's called The Immense Importance of Follow-Up. Okay. This is one of my favorite things to coach on. This is one of the things I'm kind of known for, because it's the connection piece. It's the connector piece. So this is something I really love. And if you haven't figured out, just from all the things I've said so far, I love the marketing and sales life cycle, and I love helping entrepreneurs take advantage of that in each and every step of that 7-step process. So, Bob, right on, brother. Right on. Love the blog. This was a good one. So now we'll get into the summary, because that was kind of energetic. I was excited.
Roll it, buddy. Roll it.
So it's been said many times in many ways, you must become a master of follow-up, because, most entrepreneurs, and I would dare say about 95% of all entrepreneurs, the follow-up piece, the nurturing of the relationship piece, is either issue number 1 or number 2 that they struggle with most. So Bob is really, really good in this blog about it's short, it's sweet, but it's like huge in value and in content, like usable, applicable content. So Bob cites the very well-known Clayton Mask from the Infusionsoft. He is the CEO there, and points out how very effectively that people buy when they're ready, not because you want them to, not mattering how great of a salesman or how great of a pitch you give. They're going to buy when they're ready to. And this is true for sales. This is true in recruiting. People buy or join you because, you're around at the right time with the right information to trigger them to take that action. And they're going to do it on their terms. Just how it is. And if you're not following up, if you're not staying in front of these prospects, then the person that is there at that time, guess what? They're the dog in the hunt, and they're the one that gets the bone, and you lose. So, something to note that I thought was really key, and this is kind of something that for me is a big deal. Bob cites like I said, from Clayton Mask, the importance of the follow-up. And as you know, I here at the Growth Coaching Systems, we use Infusionsoft, and I think it's a great product and all that. But that's not my point. My point is Infusionsoft is a CRM, a customer relationship management system. And Bob's not saying that you should run out and get one, but he's pointing you to the fact that you have to have some process in your sales and marketing system process, procedures, if you will, for you and your team, so that you can follow up and nurture these relationships. You're working really hard to bring people in, to attract them and get leads. There's got to be something in place so that you can build a relationship. Because what did Bob say? What did Clayton say? People buy when they're ready. When you send them the information that gets them, then that's when they do. So I'm going to be shameless here, Mike. It's my shameless moment. This is the Brian Kaiser shameless moment of BAM Blog Breakdown. Mike and I, as you know, are both business coaches. Okay, we teach this, we preach on this, we help people with this, and I'm going to shamelessly plug Evernote because we guide our clients to use that very simple tool to start understanding how to put in place some very simple systems, if you will, processes, if you will, because it allows you to tag the people. It allows you to set reminders. It allows you to categorize, what product that you brought them in for. And it keeps you on top of your game so that you don't miss out. Now, this is a manual system. This is something that you have to manually do, but we'll ask Mike in a minute. But what I've seen is that when you use the system, when you put it in place and you use it and it works the way you want it to, and you understand how to get it to do what you need it to do for you in your business, then when you go to an automated CRM, now it's easy to set up because you know exactly how you need it to function. You need exactly how it's going to flow, and it's good. So Bob doesn't go into the CRMs here, but his message is very clear. That follow-up piece has to be done. It has to be consistent. It has to be of value to the client, the information that you're following up with them. And you have to do that. And it may take several times of following up because they're going to buy when they're ready. And, hey, there's those of you out there that, hey, I'm the great sales. I closed this many people, blah, 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 blah. That's great. Stay with that. Don't change anything you're doing. It's the people that tell you no or that don't buy. That's who we're speaking of. And if you want to increase your business, if you want to grow, that Bob is really telling you here, the key to those people that fall in the wastebasket of the no's, those are very, very valuable if you'll just follow his simple guidance here, listen to some of the things that we've drawn out of this, and follow up. So an incredible piece by Bob Burg, another BAM slamming home run blog, if you ask me. You got to scoot over to the site. You got to read it, reread it again, have your team read it, sit down, and, kind of go over it with your team, see what you're doing, and look at those people that you can retarget and start building a relationship. So, Mike, I think this has been the ballpark crusher right out the room, but, what did you take away from it?
I took away a couple things, Brian, and I'm going to actually go a little bit different angle and touch on some of the things you said before we get into the Brian Kaiser 3 keys to the blog. First thing is, my biggest takeaway was actually the title of the blog. Okay, so listen up, people, right? This was not a catchy phrase. It wasn't a, hey, 5 ways to improve follow-up. Hey, the money's in the follow-up. Hey, follow-up equals profit. It wasn't a catchy line. It was right to the point. The immense importance of follow-up, guys. If that isn't a flashing light to attract you right there, not to attract you to the blog post. He didn't use a hook here. He's telling you right in the title, no fancy names, no nothing. Guys, follow-up is immensely important. So that's my big takeaway. But I want to touch on a couple things you said, okay? First off, we talked about, if your sales conversion rate's really high, cool, keep doing what you're doing, right? But I just want to touch on something because that doesn't always measure everything, Brian. How many repeat clients are you getting? How many times are they coming back to you? Are they buying other products and services from you? The follow-up, even if you have a 70, 80, 90 sales conversion rate, follow-up's still important. It's still equally as important because you may have a menu of other items that those people can sell. So while your initial sales conversion rate might be 70, 80%, what's your repeat rate? What's your other products rate? What's your upsell rate? What's your add-on rate, all these different things. So you got to look at those things too. And then the third thing I want to touch on again before we get into the Brian Kaiser 3 keys to the blog, and I think this is really important to know, there's a lot of ways to track what Brian was talking about. We prefer Evernote. We use Evernote. We promote Evernote. There's a lot of different things out there. Brian and I have had the privilege of trying a ton of these. Okay. In our space, we get offered to try them. We get, we do a lot of different things. Brian is a partner with Infusionsoft, which is one of probably the biggest CRM in the world. I utilize a lot of free stuff or extremely inexpensive stuff and get the results I need. Some are automated, some are manual. Here's the key. And this is extremely important. If you go back to any of our prior blog breakdowns and you start looking, you'll see multiple different BAM episodes about simplicity. The worst thing that you can do if you get into Evernote and you start creating a system for yourself is to overcomplicate it, because then you won't use it. And if you don't use it, it doesn't do anything for you. Okay, so Brian was talking about sales conversion rates. He was talking all this stuff. Here's the one thing we all look for whenever we do something. We look for a return on investment. Okay, we always look for a return on investment. If you're a business that relies on relationship marketing and relationship building for income, okay, we're always looking for a return on investment. My challenge to you is to start looking at your books as a return on relationship. ROR instead of ROI. Where are you going with this relationship? What does this relationship mean to you? And how will you get a return, and how will you bring value so that they get a return from the relationship as well? So with that, that's to touch on what you said, Brian, and to just kind of bring it around with what I got out of the blog.
Well, Mike, I hope the viewers and listeners took out a pen and paper, because with that segment right there was I don't know how much value the blog and then our breakdown. Wow, that was pretty cool. So it's the 3 keys part. So I'm interested to hear about the 3 keys and get into those, and then move on into the advantage. But just so far, hey, I hope the listeners are enjoying it, because man, I love this topic.
Yeah,
this is a great topic.
So let's do it. Let's Brian Kaiser's 3 keys to the blog, and I'm going to deliver that today. So let's take a look. Brian, I could have gone with 10 keys, but that's not the name of this segment. It's called 3 keys. So I'm going to stick with the 3, okay? So follow up or follow through, whatever you want to call it, okay? It's not just in sales, people. It's not just sales. It's a habit that is seen throughout your day-to-day if you look for it. If you're not seeing it in your business, you may have a follow-up or follow-through deficiency, and you may need to address that. Look, follow-up and follow-through, and guys, this is going to be a stinger, okay? It's a stinger, and I'm sorry, because I love you all, but this may be a stinger. If you're not following through and following up, it's a character issue. Follow through and follow up speaks a lot into your integrity as a person. It's not about, I'm going to follow up because I'm trying to get the sale. Maybe you made a promise to somebody that you need to follow up with. Maybe you told somebody at a networking one-on-one that you were going to make a connection for them. Did you follow through? Did you follow up? Did you make it happen? Your ability to deliver on your word is follow up and follow through. Okay. So if you have a follow up and follow through deficiency in your business, believe me, it is not only affecting your income, but it's affecting your brand perception. So we got to fix that. Okay. So first key to the blogs was, it's not just about sales. It's about character. It's in the day-to-day. It's everything. The second thing is the promise you made to an employee, a vendor, referral partner, a kid, a spouse, a neighbor, all require follow-up and follow-through. That means that this is not just about business. So the second point is really this. How you do anything is how you do everything. My buddy Ryan Taft, who we've broken down some of his blogs in the past through the Jeff Shore blog, my buddy Ryan Taft says, you want to get to know somebody, play board games with them. Play a board game and see how they play, particularly Monopoly, right? Will they cheat to win? Are they overly aggressive? Right? You can learn a lot about people by playing board games, and he contends that how you do anything is how you do everything. So you want to pick a good business partner? Play Monopoly with them first. See how they play, right? It says a lot about who they are. But look, the promise you make to an employee, a vendor, a referral partner, a kid, a spouse, a neighbor, this is all follow-up. It all requires follow-up. So if you take a closer look, kind of going back to my first point, you'll see follow-up shows up over and over and over and over again in your life. And if you're struggling with it, this is a skill that you're going to want to start to look at and work on a regular basis. And I'm just going to hit it home. The third one is, it is a skill. And every leader practices and leverages follow-up. And I'm going to say it again, a lack of follow-up reflects on your character integrity. just the way it is. So for me, for the listeners, for myself, for Brian, our brand integrity depends on not only our ability to follow up, but our ability to lead our team to perfect this skill of follow up.
That was amazing. Those 3 keys were really cool. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. So we're going to go into the Mike Calderwood Coaching Advantage application right now. And to tell you the truth, Mike, when I read the blog, and then I have my normal routine. I read the blog, I go away for a while, I come back, I read the blog again, and then I go and make my notes. And as I was doing that in the application piece, I said, you know what? A lot of people, just like what you made mention to, they don't have those processes put in place that will help them to do exactly what you said in the 3rd key of the 3 keys, build a skill, build and develop that skill. And so I thought, well, okay, should I do it? Should I not do it? And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to do it. So I'm going to shamelessly plug Evernote one more time, but I'm going to challenge all of the solopreneurs and the business owners and small business owners particularly. And when I say that, 5 or less employees, to start, if you don't have a system, which I would be really shocked and surprised if you don't, but you would be amazed at how many people approach Mike or I, and they don't have any system. They do it with the old portfolio and the notebook paper, and they write down their stuff in there, and sometimes it happens and sometimes it gets lost. So I'm gonna challenge you. Go start an Evernote account. It's free. The first part of the account is free. It's easy to use and it's free. So get over there, get the account set up. I'm going to tell you that after the first week or so, if you'll engage yourself and commit to using the system and building it in the 3 simple ways I'm going to tell you to do it, then I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to buy the very, very, very expensive, $45 premium version, and that's $45 for the whole year. So you're going to want that. But let's just go through this real quickly, okay? The first thing you're going to do after you set up your account is you're going to just set up 3 simple notebooks. You're going to call one leads, you're going to call one prospects, and you're going to call one clients. So that's pretty simple, right? Okay. Then you're going to go set up some tags. It allows you to tag these things. I mentioned that in the thing. So you want to follow up with these people, so put in there the tags. This is a lead that has no appointment set. You're going to want to know. You're going to want to search those and be able to do that. So that's what that tag's for. You're going to want a tag that says lead appointment set. And when you meet with that client, you're going to want to change that tag and add notes and change them to a prospect. And that's our next tag, is a prospect tag. And you're going to want to create 3 subtags underneath that prospect called hot lead, need to nurture. And that's a hot lead. You need to be on top of that one. Warm needs extended nurturing time. That means it's going to take a little more follow-up because they're not ready and they're not ready yet. And then you have a cold lead that is just going to need your newsletter so you can do exactly what Bob told us to do in this blog. Keep following up. Keep following up. A newsletter is a great way to keep your name, your brand in front of and on the forefront of your potential customers' minds, so when they are ready, they know who to go to. The next one you're going to create is a tag for client. Now, in the client tag, you're going to have some subtags, and the subtags are going to be your products or services that you have, so you can tag that client with whatever it was that you presented them with that they bought, because you're going to want to know that for exactly what Mike talked about, retargeting them. If they bought one product or service, have you introduced them to the next product or service that you do best? And you have to retarget them. It's imperative. Or like Mike said, it's a one-hit wonder, and you don't build a business on a one-hit wonder. You don't. You're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you're really not going to get anywhere. So that's really my application, is just telling you a simple way to set up a system that Mike and I know works, and then from there, build it. Now, like I pointed out in the beginning, I'll point out here, Evernote's not a CRM, but it allows you the ability to utilize the powerful functions within their simple tool to put together a workflow and sales process to test the flow and learn exactly how a CRM would need to work and be set up for you and your situation in your company with your processes the way you want. So you can take the functional Evernote account to someone that understands CRMs and become a rock star with them, because it's much simpler to automate something that you already do than it is to go through the trial and error of setting up a process and systems and all these things automatically. That's going to be a big, huge trial and error and learning curve for everyone involved. So, Mike, I had to do the shameless promotion. I had to do the teaching moment. Bob inspires me with this blog of his because, I love this process so much. But Evernote got a couple of plugs in there from us, so I hope that they're watching, listening, and enjoying that. But what would you add or expand on that to apply? Because I think that's the biggest thing that I see or know that entrepreneurs and small business owners struggle with is they don't have the time to go following up, and they don't take the time to put the systems or some simple tools in place so that it will alert them to send even a simple email or make a 10-minute phone call to say, hey, how are you doing? Wanted to follow up with you from our last conversation, see how things were going. How can I help you? If you don't have anything, you're probably not going to do it because it's not going to be in that folio with the notepad, and you're probably going to flip past it, or either that or change out the notepad. And they went in the stack with the other 150 leads or whatever that you just they didn't buy, so you moved on. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, what would you expand on?
Yeah, so a couple things, Brian. One is, again, for the listeners, simplicity over complexity, so that you can actually use it and use it regularly. This is a habit. It needs to be created. It's not like you're going to jump in here and just flow. So you've got to practice like any other skill. Follow up, having a CRM, all that stuff is very important that you just give it time to nurture and get good at it. You made some good points, Brian. And one is Brian showed you a way to do this, combining two very powerful Evernote features, and that is utilizing folders and tags. Brian and I have both done a lot of research. We've looked at Evernote Scott, which you can look up on YouTube, who promotes deep folder systems supported by tagging systems. I actually use just a tagging system, which I learned from Michael Hyatt. You can check him out at michaelhyatt.com and search Evernote, and he'll give you an Evernote structure. Brian and I have kind of adapted now over time a folder hierarchy system that's not overly confusing, with a tagging system that works for each of our businesses. So that brings me to a really good point. And that point is that along with your CRM or however you're going to manage relationships and manage your follow-up system, as Bob is suggesting we do, there's some other systems you need to have in place too. And Brian kind of touched on them. One is your sales funnel. If you're not clear on your sales funnel, your CRM is going to be less effective. If you're not clear on your drip system, your CRM will be less effective. So these three systems need to work together clearly based on where the direction of your business, the products and services that you offer, so on and so forth. And what the drip system, what we're talking about here is, like Brian mentioned, if it's a colder lead, you're going to add them to your newsletter. A newsletter is a drip system, okay? So if you don't have a clear vision of your drip system, your sales funnel, and how to operate a CRM and follow through and follow up, I want to draw your attention to something that's really important. And that is behind Brian. Brian, talk for a minute.
Yep. How you doing? There you go.
All right. Behind Brian, you see that big whiteboard, giant whiteboard. Okay. You can't see mine because it's on that side of the room over there, but I have a flip chart system over there. Okay. And either Brian or I can help you in a whiteboard or flip chart session put together a sales funnel, a drip system, and a CRM structure that'll work specifically for your business, because this is not a one-size-fits-all. Oh, but Mike, I'm in Seattle. I'm listening. You guys are in Houston. That's okay. We do it via video. which is absolutely fantastic. So you can come in if you're in the Houston area to either Brian's office or my office, do a session to get yourself structured in a way that's going to work for your business so that you can maximize your sales funnel, your drip system, and your CRM for maximum results, increase your sales, increase your profit, increase your success. That's all I have, Brian.
Well, I think we can close up BAM now. Everybody, did you agree? Mike, that was awesome stuff. Excellent points. And, Bob, really, like I said, this has been an excellent blog because this is something that is really something that I see people struggle with. I know that I've struggled with it. You and I've gone through it many times, how to be better at it. Like no one's ever going to be the best at it. There's always a way to do more and be better. And like Mike says, it's a skill, and anything that's a skill needs to be practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced because you can always make it better and always make it more perfect. So, it was an excellent point. In closing out this portion of BAM, Mike, I wanted to ask, and I think we already know, but just, what did you learn in just a few short words?
If I were to summarize this, it goes back to what I said earlier with ROR. And it's I am not going to have a clear return on a relationship until I have a clear, usable, functional CRM to support me. That's a follow-up system.
Excellent. So guys, take advantage of what we've given you here. If you want more information, let us know. We can help you out. This has been another BAM Slam Home Run Breakdown where I, Brian Kaiser, and the co-host, Mr. Mike Calderwood, have broke down an expert business blog so that you can better understand and apply this information to your business and your life for real results. You can look forward to new editions of the BAM Blog Breakdown each and every Monday and Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure to do what I urged you to do at the beginning of the show. If you haven't done so, you need to get on over there to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. That way you can take full benefit of not just this really cool BAM Slam blog, but you can also look at all the other ones that we've put up from many, many different experts in business. So the links to today's show are under the video. Like I said, if you need more help setting this stuff up, if you want to get in touch with Bob or anyone on his team, reach out to Mike and I. Let us make a personal and professional introduction to those guys over there. If you feel that Mike and I may be the ones that can get you started off, then please reach out to either one of us. Like Mike said, we can do the whiteboard sessions. We can put them up here either in person or via the video feeds and get that taken care of. So if you're searching for a coach, if you're needing professional work done, if you're needing to find somebody to help you grow your business, please don't hesitate to reach out to Mike and I. We are both here to serve, and we'll make a personal and professional introduction to the people we've broken down. And right now, we're just going to leave you with, how can we help you? How can we help you? So until next time, we will see you later. We are out.
We're out.